Right now on 7 News, a live look as flames from the High Park fire can be seen in Fort Collins. Within the last 2 hours, we've learned the fire has spread to more than 41,000 acres. And breaking news, we're also learning the fire has turned deadly. A 62-year-old woman killed at her home, unable to be rescued or escape the flames.
And for the first time, with smoke and flames clearing just enough for Air Tracker 7 to capture video of some of the nearly 120 homes and structures known to be damaged or destroyed by the fire. Tonight, we have team coverage. Jaclyn Allen with emotional stories as evacuees learn they lost their homes.
And we start with Molly Hendrickson at the Fire Command Post. And Molly, the sheriff, talking tonight about efforts they made to save that fire victim.
Yeah, that fire victim is 62-year-old Linda Stedman. They say that despite 2 warning notifications that were made to her house, and they even went to her house, the fire was simply moving too fast. From the High Park fire, confirmation of what investigators have feared all along.
Ultimately, they found what's believed to be human remains consistent with Mrs. Stedman.
Linda Stedman, who had been missing, never made it out. A deputy even went up to warn her.
When he got up close enough to that residence, the area was engulfed in flames. He saw what he believed to be the structure in flames.
The loss cuts deep here. More than 400 firefighters have battled tirelessly to protect homes and the Stove Prairie School.
A number of the volunteers came down and were defending that space, that school, and they looked back up onto Mount Ethel, where Mount Ethel Road was, and they could see their houses burning.
Today, the most aggressive air attacks yet, their efforts finally paying off. Crews were able to build a line around part of the fire.
We're actually playing a game now. We're actually opponents on the field. Before, we were just losing ground and trying to keep out of the way.
Those air attacks will stop for the night, but they'll still stand guard, watching structures and patrolling, hoping their efforts will hold until daylight. And Linda Stedman's family released this statement saying, in part, the entire Stedman family would like to commend all the firefighters and emergency personnel dedicated to saving lives and property. Some good news for tomorrow. 200 more firefighters are expected here, and officials say they expect to have some containment numbers. Reporting live, Molly Hendrickson, 7 News.
Now, the governor tonight also meeting with one evacuee. Nelson Moreno lost his home, yet he is now looking for a way to help other homeowners. Take a listen.
I'm not asking for money, I just want to help.
I understand. Well, I appreciate that. That's noble.
Because those are the people of Colorado. We should be able to help the people that don't have it.
No, I'm all for it.
So do I give you my number? Or?
Sure. Got a card, you got a number? Here, write down on this.
And today, Air Tracker 7 getting a better look at how close these flames have come to homes. Look at this. The fire hasn't touched this home. You can see the fire got close. These homeowners not as fortunate. Nothing but a pile of ash left of this home.
A fire covering more than 41,000 acres may be a little difficult to wrap your head around. Take a look at this. We put the numbers together, and the High Park fire covers more ground than the entire city of Fort Collins, about 56 square miles. Now, here's another view of the High Park fire. The body of water you see there is the Horsetooth Reservoir. The fire just to the west. Highway 287 still closed tonight between Ted's Place and LaPorte. Highway 14 remains closed between Ted's Place and the town of Rustic. Those are the signs you see going to the north. Now, roads going to the evacuated neighborhoods are also closed down.
And no change for the evacuation area. It's the same size tonight. Many families are waiting at the evacuation center to find out about the status of their homes. And that is where Jaclyn Allen is tonight. And Jaclyn, difficult news for many.
Hundreds of people came here today, and the big story here at the evac center, people are learning for the first time they've lost everything or that their home is safe for now. So an emotional roller coaster, relief, sorrow, frustration. 41,000 acres is just a number. Here we have seen the faces of this fire.
He said, our garage is standing, our house is gone.
Heart-wrenching news for Terry Collins, finding out she's lost everything from a neighbor, and even worse.
They won't let us up there to get our horses. They just told us that we could not go, that they'll try to get a sheriff's posse to get in to get the horses. They've been without water since Saturday. Sorry.
Many evacuees come to this afternoon briefing for answers and leave in tears.
It's a great community. We're just a big family.
Ardella Hawks just learned the hottest part of the fire is where her home once stood. She barely made it out in time, leaving all her livestock and pets. She can't help thinking about all the warnings she had before a wildfire last summer.
I died. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Take your time.
I died so good for that one. And I only grabbed a couple things on this one. We've been to 3 fires in 3 years. It's just a lot.
And even as the fire rages on,
I'm pretty frustrated.
Many residents, such as Jarrell Claver, who lives on the south side of Horsetooth Reservoir, want concrete timelines for when they can go home.
I get the north side of town. I get that. There's a big problem up there. But on the south side, give me some answers.
And today we have also seen an incredible display of generosity, tons of donations here. One resident came here, got some food and said, we've been eating nothing since fast food, nothing but fast food since Saturday. It will be nice to have something tonight that's not out of a styrofoam box. And there will be another citizens briefing here tomorrow morning at 8:30. Reporting live, Jaclyn Allen, 7 News.
And we continue to get more pictures of the fire area, of the homes that have been destroyed and those spared by the fire. You can find pictures from Air Tracker 7 on thedenverchannel.com. We have created a slideshow.
The Call 7 investigators looking into the cause of this fire. And just today, fire officials confirming that it did start with lightning. The 24/7 weather team looking at the strikes in that area. The most recent were last Wednesday night. Now, the fire wasn't noticed until early Saturday morning, 55 hours after a potential lightning strike. Firefighters say it is possible for lightning-caused fires to smolder for days.
When that fuel heats up to the right temperature and gets some wind, then it will ignite, and then that's when the fire typically is noticed.
Firefighters say beetle kill in the area is adding the fuel to that fire, and the winds and rough terrain are making it very difficult to fight. Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson in the 24/7 Weather Center. Mike, how do they track these strikes, these lightning strikes, several days after they hit?
Mike, it's pretty interesting technology. Last week with the storms on the 9th, we had 338 lightning strikes in the area during the hours from 9 to 11 p.m. Now, what happens is the storms went through, the thunderstorm activity going around the area where the fire started actually puts out a radio signature. You hear it on an AM radio, that sound whenever there's a lightning strike. That's a burst of energy that's called a spheric. It's very specific for cloud-to-ground lightning strikes, and by triangulation we can actually pinpoint where the strikes occur. This is what the equipment actually looks like, and it's scattered all across Colorado and around the entire western United States just for the reason to keep an eye on lightning strikes that could cause forest fires. So once the fire starts, it smolders, but by Saturday we had those strong hot winds coming in that just acted like a bellows on that fire and caused the big conditions that we've had with this huge eruption of the fire. Tonight it's a little bit cooler, the humidity a little bit higher, but I can tell you there's no moisture coming up in that forecast for a while. We'll look ahead on the 7-day in just a bit.
Just about an hour ago, the air operation at the High Park fire stopped for the night. All day it was a constant rotation of heavy tankers and single-engine planes at the Rocky Mountain Metropolitan Airport in Broomfield. To make a round trip, it takes each plane about 40 minutes. Just yesterday, 49 loads of retardant were dropped on the fire. We don't yet know the final number of drops today.
Now, this is video you'll see only on 7 News of the fire from the air early this afternoon. Because of that thick smoke you see in the air, there is a health warning in effect for children, the elderly, and those with lung disease. They're being told to limit their time outside. This is for the Front Range urban corridor, and that goes all the way down to El Paso County. We have new video tonight of the High Park fire on the first day. This was taken by campers just west of Fort Collins. Marshall Zellinger's near Horsetooth Reservoir. And Marshall, they didn't have much time to get out.
Mike, they got out in just 3 minutes, and when they stopped where they were, turned to look where they had come from, it was consumed in flames. Tonight, those flames are noticeable on the ridge here near Horsetooth Reservoir. The vista we're at, a very popular place for the curious and the concerned.
The flames are about 100, 150 feet tall.
Jason Blaisdell showing us new video of the High Park fire from 8 a.m. Saturday, just 2 hours after it was reported.
I believe that's my friend's truck exploding right there.
We were rushing, we were hauling butt down the mountain, we were getting out there fast.
Jason and hundreds of others have come to Horsetooth Reservoir, watching the fire on day 3. The smoke, the flames, the efforts to stop it from consuming more land and more homes.
There's nobody really putting it out because it's so far spread. It's all different spots.
Alan Amante and his folks live just beyond the ridge. He fears their homes are lost. He grabbed a few possessions. What stands out most? A stuffed bear strapped to his car.
It's lightweight, but there's a lot of memory in that.
After watching 7 News' coverage this afternoon, Dave Karp set up his telescope for concerned evacuated residents.
And if I do run into anybody who has a home over there, hopefully I can zero in on that and, kind of put their mind at ease.
Another live look at the hillside. We watched about a dozen retardant and water drops from between 7 and 8:45 tonight. And this area closed by park rangers just 1 hour ago. It will likely be a popular place for looky-loos tomorrow. Reporting live in Fort Collins, Marshall Zellinger, 7 News.
And local businesses are feeling the effects of this fire. We spoke to Mountain White Water Descents. The rafting company had to shut down all week because the highway to the river is now closed. The owners are keeping a positive outlook, impressed about how the community is helping each other.
The river's going to be there, it's going to flow, and it'll take care of us all once this fire blows through. And it's just really important now that we extend our sincere condolences to all of our friends and neighbors.
And on the business grounds, they have some extra room, so they're opening it up to the evacuees who need some place to take their animals. This fire is also changing business for the U.S. Postal Service. More than 2,200 homes won't be getting mail delivered. This includes everyone in Bellevue. They need to pick up their mail in LaPorte. Anyone living west of Horsetooth Dam Road off West County Road 38E can pick up mail at Fort Collins Main Post Office. And any mail not picked up will be delivered after the fire. On air and online, we will continue to bring you all the breaking information on the Hyde Park fire. Stay with us here on 7 News and the DenverChannel.com for continued coverage.